DIKWP 小工 aboard, your learning journey starts now. Ever heard of DIKWP? Sounds like a secret code, right? It's not just another fancy acronym. Think of it as a framework trying to make sense of everything from data to decisions. But here's the kicker. Is it a game changer or just hot air? Let's peel back the layers. So, what is this DIKWP beast? Imagine climbing a pyramid. At the bottom, you have raw data, just facts. Then information, seeing the differences. Knowledge structuring those differences. Wisdom, bringing in values. And finally, purpose, the action plan, the why. The real magic, according to the insiders, isn't just adding purpose on top. It's weaving it into every single step, making sure every transformation is tagged, reusable, and accountable. Think of it as giving your thinking process a GPS and a moral compass all at once. The danger: if it tries to explain everything under the sun, it gets too fluffy, too vague. The core trick is keeping that purpose sharp and focused. Now let's talk about the packaging. DIKWP has a shiny shell think grand pronouncements about artificial consciousness, universal theories. It's got the buzzwords to grab headlines. But the real core, the stuff that might actually work, is more down to earth, explicitly building that purpose layer, using typed semantics for each step, and ensuring everything is traceable, a white box, not a black one. Why does this matter? Because the world around AI is demanding more transparency, more control. That's the environment pushing DIKWP the risk. If the shell, the big ideas, keeps shining brighter than the core, the actual tools, people will dismiss it as just hype. The real power lies in that transparent, purpose-driven core, not the flashy exterior. So why do we tend to overestimate DIKWP? Look at the evidence. Papers and applications are popping up everywhere. Medicine, law, security, creative AI. It's expanding fast. That's the observed growth. But infer this, most of these are still tied closely to the original team or their collaborators. Where are the independent third parties picking it up and running with it? That's missing. The speculation here is bold. DIKWP's best shot at survival isn't by getting thicker and more ambitious, but thinner, becoming a practical tool, a semantic middleware, a governance language. What could kill this idea? If within the next couple of years they release solid, reproducible tools and benchmarks that others can use and verify. Without that, the perception remains big claims, weak delivery. What's next for DIKWP? Forget one straight path. It's branching out. Branch A looks promising, becoming a semantic middleware. Think of it as a specialized translator or auditor for AI systems, especially where rules are tight and explainability is king. High chance if they deliver the tools. Branch B is also likely focusing on specific industries like healthcare or law, where traceability matters. Medium chance if they show real deployment wins. Branch C is the institutional buzz loss of conferences, committees, but this mainly builds reputation without necessarily delivering tech. Low impact if the core tools don't follow. My gut feeling, DIKWP survives not as some grand total theory explaining consciousness, but as a practical tool for managing complex AI interactions, especially in regulated fields. Its strength isn't in its ambition, but in its potential utility. Alright, final verdict time. What should you take away? First, high confidence. The core idea of separating facts, differences, structures, values, and goals, and linking them with traceable steps. That's genuinely useful for taming today's AI chaos. Second, medium confidence. Its best bet for long-term survival isn't as a total theory, but as a semantic control layer or a purpose-aware middleware. Third, a bold prediction. If DIKWP can do a Fresnization, keep the functional surfaces, and ditch the conceptual fluff, it'll become a valuable tool. Otherwise, it risks becoming just a self-replicating idea. So, how do you check if it's legit? Watch for independent third parties using it, clearer definitions for values and purpose, working software interfaces, real-world results, and importantly, a willingness to admit when it doesn't work. Keep an eye on these signs.